match. The night of returns it is. Kendrick Perkins returns to our countdown sit. Michael Wilbon, Bob Myers here with us as well. Damian Lillard back in Portland. Kevin Durant back in Brooklyn tonight, Michael Wilbon. But when you look at these two teams, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns, who do you feel better about putting your chips down on going to the NBA Finals?
I don't feel great about either one of them right now, but I'll go Milwaukee, Malika, in large part because the West is still better. I know the East has gotten more interesting in the last few weeks with the trade Miami made and Doc Rivers going to Milwaukee. It's gotten more interesting. The Knicks being 14-2. Philadelphia, we don't know what's going on with Joel, really. But the West is so difficult to get through. And the Suns, Perk and I were just talking before we came on just now about what they need. And they sort of need a pit bull of a personality. Well, where's that come from? Does one of the guys automatically get a personality transplant that they have? That's not where they are now. And so Milwaukee Boston is the only team that is just demonstrably better at this point in the East than Milwaukee. I don't know that we can say the same thing for Phoenix.
We can't. And when I think about the Phoenix Suns, I think about Hostess cupcakes.
Come on.
They cream me in the middle. They cream me in the middle. And that's why I got to get an edge to the Milwaukee Bucks. Because the interior, right, the tenacity. Nurkic have not lived up to what he's supposed to do for us, delivering, anchoring that defense, right? And they try KD at the 5. And I get Frank Vogel, he's doing it for offensive reasons. But the last time that KD really actually played the 4 and 5 was with you, Bob, in Golden State. He don't have Draymond Green on the side of him. So when I look at the Milwaukee Bucks and I look at that duo and Dame and Giannis, and then I look at Brook Lopez, you got Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis is that guy that you're talking about that comes in off the bench and brings that tenacity that they need. Giannis already is a beast in itself, so I think this conversation right here, I got to go with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay. Look, I think, Malika, I'm going to talk to you.
You're always welcome to.
This guy's
He's abandoned us.
Perk, seriously.
The table.
No, look, I just don't see anybody getting by Boston right now. Barring, if Embiid's healthy, I could see Philly. I could. But they're the deepest, they're the most versatile team.
Yeah.
Their issue is Porzingis' health. If he's healthy, they have so many ways to beat you, does that Boston Celtics team. So I agree, the West, Wilbon, is deeper. But I could see Phoenix beating any team in the West. I just don't know if anybody's beating Boston right now in the East. So you're right. If Phoenix could find their way to the Western Conference Finals, hey, you put Booker, Beal, Durant against, even if it's Kawhi or Jokic or whoever it is, they could get there.
Bob.
No, I'm not. I don't want to hear it.
Bob,
Wilbon, what do you think?
Bob,
no,
Phoenix.
I got you a contract. I got you a pretty good contract, right? Didn't I?
You did.
That was pretty good.
But come on now.
That was then, this is now.
Phoenix is not beating Denver or the Clippers when it comes to them matching
So
up
if you're
in the
saying to me, if you think Milwaukee's got a better chance of beating Boston than Phoenix does of beating Denver or the Clippers. Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do. And it's only because of the point you made about Kristaps Porzingis. We still haven't seen him in that moment when it matters the most, right? And when you think about that front line of Milwaukee, Giannis, Brook Lopez, and Bobby Portis, that's a heavy load. And if he's not 100% healthy or you have to worry about him being healthy, you can't put all that ownership on Big Al Horford.
I'll give you another scenario. And I hear what you're saying about Boston, Bob, and I don't disagree. But remember, you have to play a couple of rounds before we get Milwaukee, Boston, if they finish 1-2. Suppose the Knicks, wait.
What are we doing? Stephen A. is not here. He is not here, Will. I'm here. Stephen A. is not here. We don't have to talk about the Knicks.
Suppose the Knicks
now,
either beat Boston or more likely, beat up Boston. Give them a tough 6 or 7 game series that leaves the Celtics limping and having to figure out some things like Porzingis, who hasn't been in games in his career like that.
The Celtics play in tough 7 game series and still be the team to represent a conference.
We've also seen them lose and disappoint.
That they're struggling a little bit to find that fit. Why do you think that is, even though they're winning through it?
Well, because the word sacrifice comes to mind, right? And anytime you get together with another superstar generational talent, someone has to sacrifice, and it's not necessarily shots. Right, we saw Steph Curry sacrifice and take a back seat to Kevin Durant. We saw Kevin Garnett take a back seat to Paul Pierce on the offensive end. We saw Dwayne Wade sacrifice to LeBron James in order to complete the mission. And so when I look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, he has to be the guy that sacrifices. And I'm not saying his shots, but his role. Like, dominate that two-man game. Be more of a center-type player where you're setting screens and being more of a diver to the basket. Like, they haven't mastered that yet. I want to see them get to that Jamal Murray and Jokic level where it's just like clicking, like, you know, on time, on target, without having to call a set.
I think that's the right word, sacrifice. And that's what you have to do, especially if what they want to do is win a championship. But it was interesting when Lillard, great interview, when he was answering the question, not as good as I thought. That would be my response. How's that tandem going? Not as smooth as I thought. I thought it would be better. It's fine, but it's not great. And to hear him, that was a pretty honest answer from an NBA superstar. Mm-hmm. Usually they'd say, oh, we love it, it's great, we're clicking. He answered you honestly, and he said, look, not as good as I thought. We got work to do. When Durant came to Golden State, him and Steph were trying to figure it out. But what did happen, Perk, was when you got to the games in the playoffs that mattered, they would run that 1-3 pick and roll, and Durant and Steph did what they were supposed to do. So the question is, you don't want to wait that long, right? For Lillard and Giannis, they got to be doing that now to develop that, right?
Right.
Steph and Kevin were so unbelievable; they could just do it. But I think that's the question. They gotta get some rhythms, get some reps in to really be ready for those times.
And there's one thing that Dame's not going to replace, and nor should he be asked, because he does something different, and that is replace Drew Holiday.
Defensively,
okay, so
for sure.
Adrian Griffin didn't go away, and they didn't bring Doc Rivers in because of offensive issues. I mean, that's straight tied to defense. We talked about how in the month of January, which is just now ending, they were 28th, the Bucks, in defense and team defense. So Dame is not going to impact that greatly. Dame will have a great impact, but not that thing that has caused that team so much, discomfort already this year. Mm-hmm. So I think it's hard to just look at Dame plug and play. It's not the same team as it was 3 years ago when they won an NBA championship.
But I think Dame, they had to get Dame and make that move because of the decline that Chris Middleton is on, right? He looks old, and let's just be real. He don't look healthy. He don't look the same. Also, but Dame could be better defensively. We're not asking him to be Drew Holiday, but damn it, I saw Eddie House fight over screens. I didn't see Ray Allen take pride in guarding a Rip Hamilton in the Eastern Conference Finals, who wasn't known for a defender. So, like, when you're playing for something and you're playing for a championship, like, that's all you asking is for that effort. Dame has it in him.
He totally right. I mean, that's why people, you were probably on that team when Westbrook criticized Curry's defense, kind of laughed in the playoff. It was a playoff series where he kind of smirked about Steph's defense.
Right.
But he gave effort. Steph gave effort every single time. And that does a couple things. One, you're a better defender just by trying harder. And two, your teammates see that. If you're a superstar and you defend, everyone has to defend.
But hell, Bob, I mean, go back and look at the last title that y'all won in Golden State. Boston was trying to search Steph out. I saw times where he actually was guarding Al Horford on the low block.
Yeah.
It's a mentality.
But he decided he was going to get better and better and better and stronger. But it's this too. But in Lillard's defense, he was carrying Portland by himself for years. So he's probably like, I can't do this and that.
Right.
But now he has some help. So he could say, I'm going to sacrifice some offense. I've got more help to guard better.
Right. There's a little bit of a trade-off that needs to be made for Milwaukee in order to get where they want to go. And as Dame said, he still feels like they have the pieces to do that.
I'm on fire.